All right, there. We're getting started right away. Just some technical difficulties adjusting the camera. We're playing Stratomatic and replaying the 1966 World Series Game 2 at Dodger Stadium. It's between the Baltimore Orioles and the Los Angeles Dodgers. Going for the Orioles is going to be Jim Palmer. And Jim Palmer in 1972 was 15-10 with a 3.46 ERA. I believe it was his rookie season. And he's going up against the master who had a mind-blowing year. You got to look at this card. He was 27-9. 27-9 with a 1.73 ERA, 323 innings pitched. Sandy Koufax. Mind-blowing season. We're playing out of our cigar box. We're rolling in our cigar box, our Met Shea Stadium 1970s cigar box. Got it from a guy online. Asked me about it, and I'll send you the information. You can get your own. You can get any stadium. He'll create any stadium for you. And anyway, we're having fun with that toy today. And we're going to get started right away. It's going to be Luis Aparicio. The Dodgers lead at 1-0 in the actual series. The Dodgers were shut out 3 out of the 4 times. They only scored runs in the first game, and they were swept 4-0. But in this series, in this replay, we're rewriting history so far. And the Dodgers are up 1-0. And here we start in game 2. Playing basic strat. Simple game for simple minds. And it's a 4-10. A 4-10 is off Koufax's card, and that's a ground ball third base. Ex-third baseman is Gilliam. And Dodgers don't have a very good defense, to be honest with you, based on everything I've seen here. Like their third baseman, Gilliam, is a 4. So that's not good. And we rolled an 8. And that's going to be a ball that Gilliam handles across the diamond, 1 away. And it's going to be Kurt Blefari. Now, I really, massacred some of these names in the first game that I played, but I went back and did a little research and trying to get them a little closer to what they should be, the way they should be pronounced. So forgive that. You can have a couple of giggles by listening to the first game and me messing up, totally destroying their names. It's 1-8 on Blefari, and it's strikeout. 2 away now. That's going to be Frank Robinson. And it's a 6-6. That's going to be off Koufax's card. It's a split die. That's lined and caught by the third baseman, Gilliam, for the third out. We go to the bottom of the first inning. No score. The Dodgers coming to bat. All right. Love this part of the game. All right. Let's get started here. Let's move this to the side a little bit. A little back farther. There. And we get started right here. And Wills, it's going to be a 2-7. So it's off Will's card, a 2-7. That ball is lined and caught by the second baseman, Davy Johnson. 1 down. And it's a 6-7 off Palmer. A 6-7 is a strikeout. 2 away. And that we looked, wait a second. That should have been Gilliam. Where was that? What? Wait a second here. It was, well, anyway, it doesn't matter because it was off Palmer's card. Let's see. We got Will started off. Gilliam was second. Now we have Davis, followed by Fairley. A lot of times I leave this to the end. Ron Fairley. Okay, we got Fairley in there. He's going to bat 4th. Johnson is after Lefebvre. So Fairley, Davis, Willie Davis, because we have a Tommy Davis on here too. Nice and confusing for a guy that's learning all these players. They moved Roseboro up in the lineup. We're using the actual lineup. Tommy Davis is not playing. Okay. 2 outs. Bottom of the first. Here's the pitch from Palmer to Willie Davis. And it's a 3-8. A 3-8 is a pop-up to the right side. And that's the third out. We go to the top of the second, no score. And it's a 2-4. A 2-4 is a pop-out to the left side. And calling for it is Gilliam, 1 away. It's going to be Boog Powell. Boog Powell batted .287 with 18 doubles, no triples, and 34 home runs. So not really a speed merchant, if you will. And it's going to be Koufax off his card, 5-3. And that's a swing and a miss, strike 3. Second strikeout for Koufax. 2 outs now. It's going to be David Johnson. 4-8. It's a ground ball to the second baseman, Lefevre, and he is a 3. We rolled a 5, and that's a ball that Lefevre handles over to first for the third out. We go to the bottom of the second inning. No score. Now, my son mentioned to me that he wanted to replay using Strat. He wanted to replay the 2017 World Series. So I'm gonna try to get those cards ready to roll for our little rematch there, our replay, or see what happens. He's a Yankee fan. I'm more of a Met fan. And it's going to be Jim Palmer. And let's see where that went. That's a 5-9 off Palmer's card, and that's a split die. It's hitting to the gap. And that split die is Ron Fairley. Ron Fairley is going to hustle around second, and that ball is rolling around in the outfield, and he's going to make it to third, and the throw is late. So a triple for Ron Fairley, and he hit no triples in 66. So I really should turn that into a double and hold him up at second base. But in this case, I won't, but if it happens again, I will. There's always an opportunity for a guy to do something once. I don't know about when you're pushing it to get him to do it twice. But you never know, because if you look at the 72 World Series, right, it was Gene Tennis who played the whole season. He played the whole season. He played half the season, 82 games to be exact, had over 200 at bats, and he had 5 home runs. What did he do in the World Series? Was the World Series MVP. Hit 4 home runs. So he almost matched his whole season's output in just a few at bats in the World Series, right? Like, who would expected that, and how do you reproduce that? All right, so runner on third, and it's Lefevre. Here's the pitch from Palmer. It's a 6-2. It's a ground ball to the first baseman, and that's going to get a run in. RBI for Lefevre. That's be Lou Johnson. Lou Johnson is the left fielder for the Dodgers, and he batted .272 with 20 doubles, 2 triples, and 17 home runs. Not too shabby. 6-8 off Palmer. 6-8 fly ball lifted to left, and that's Blefari out there. He's calling for it, and he squeezes it. That's going to be the second out, and it's going to be Roseboro now. 1-0 here in the bottom of the second. It's 2-10, and that's going to be a line drive base hit for Roseboro. Roseboro had a good game. In game 1, he had 3 hits. He went 3 for 4 with a 2-run home run. So Roseboro's on at first, and it's going to be Wes Parker. Here's a pitch from Palmer. And it's a 4-3. A 4-3 is a ground ball. Pitcher X. Palmer's a 2. We rolled a 14, and that's going to be a ball that Palmer grabs and over to first for the third out. The Dodgers score one and leave one, and at the end of 2 innings of play, it's 1-0 Dodgers. We're going to start off with Paul Blair, Andy Etchebarren, and then it's going to be Jim Palmer facing Dr. Doom, Sandy Koufax. All right, 27-9 with a 1.73 ERA. Yeah, 6-6, and that's going to be a line drive base hit off Koufax. What is that? Probably the only hit number on his card. And that's going to be Paul Blair on with a single. It's going to be Etchebarren now. Etchebarren batted .221, 14 doubles, 6 triples, 11 home runs. Say 4-7. So again, it's off Koufax's card. A 4-7. It's going to be a strikeout. So that's the third strikeout for Koufax and the first out of the inning. Palmer's going to be up, and Palmer is going to bunt. That's an 8, and that's a successful sacrifice. Out number 2, over to second goes Blair, and Blair's got decent speed. Not much of a base stealer from what I remember. He's a D stealing, but he does have, in Strat language, 1-15 base running ability. So with 2 out, he'll be 1-17. So on a single, if it doesn't automatically give us the second base, we're going to try to take it. So it's going to be Aparicio. Here's the pitch from Koufax. It's 4-5, 4-5. It's be a fly ball lifted to center. Center fielder Willie Davis. And he squeezes it. And after the base hit, he sets him down in order. And we go to the bottom of the third, 1-0 Dodgers. It's going to be the pitcher. Sandy Koufax. Say 5-4, and that's ball 4. So Palmer walks Koufax. Not a good sign when you walk the leadoff batter, the pitcher. Not a good sign. And we're going to get Maury Wills to bunt, and that's going to be a successful sacrifice. And over to second goes Koufax. Jimmy Palmer to Gilliam now. Gilliam struck out his first at bat. Not much of a hitter. 217, 9 doubles, no triples, 1 home run, and 235 at bats. So he's not their regular third baseman. I guess he split duty with somebody else. So it's a 6-11 off Palmer's card. A 6-11 is a ground ball first baseman X. And that's going to force me to look at Powell to see what Powell is in terms of a first baseman. He's a 3. He actually improves with time. Once it gets to around the 70s, he's going to be a 1 there. So it's a 3. We rolled a 1. A 1 on a 3, and that's a single. And the runner comes home on that. So it's an RBI single for Gilliam, and around to score is Koufax. It's 2-0 Dodgers now. So this is exciting for me because I'm rooting for the Dodgers 110%. Here's Willie Davis. And it's 6-6. 6-6 is ball 4. Wow, yeah. Palmer's not getting a break here. I think he was the youngest player ever to pitch a shutout in that 1966 World Series. It's his rookie season. It's also Andy Etchebarren's rookie season. And it's runners on first and second, 1 out, and it's Ron Fairley. Fairley batted .288. Not too shabby, 20 doubles, 0 triples, and 14 home runs. And that's a 4-7, so that's going to be off Palmer's card. A 4-7 is a strikeout. And that's a second out of the inning. And it's going to be the power hitting second baseman, Jim Lefevre. Learned how to pronounce his name. 6-2. So it's a ground ball to Powell. He's going to take it unassisted for the third out. But the Dodgers pick up one and leave two. And at the end of 3 innings of play, it's 2-0 Dodgers. We go to the top of the fourth. Sandy Koufax, the Sandy Koufax, Kurt Blefari. Blefari batted .255, 14 doubles, 3 triples, and 23 home runs, so he's got some power. 6-8, it's going to be off Koufax. 6-8 is a strikeout. Frank Robinson, he's got some power. 2-9, and that's ball 4. Brooks Robinson now. Say 6-4 off Koufax's card. A 6-4 is a fly ball lifted to center. Center fielder Willie Davis over. Measures it. 2 away. And it's going to be Boog Powell. Six-seven off Koufax. 6-7. That's ball 4. A walk. So 2 walks in the inning. Runs on first and second now. Go-ahead run is at the plate in the shape of Dave Johnson, who batted .257 with 20 doubles, 3 triples, and 7 home runs. His power is going to improve with time. And it's going to be a 4-3. A 4-3. It's going to be a ground ball back to the pitcher, who's a 2, and that's an 8. And that's a ball that Koufax handles over to first for the third out. So the Orioles leave 2. We go to the bottom of the fourth, 2-0 Dodgers. And it's going to be Lou Johnson, the left fielder for the Dodgers. Johnson flew out to left field in his last at bat. It's 4-3 off Palmer. It's going to be a ground ball back to the pitcher, 17, who's a 2. And that's a ball that Palmer handles easily. 1 away. Roseboro. It's 5-6. And that's off Palmer. 5-6 is a ground ball, second base X. Second baseman Johnson is a 2. I'm writing these in as we go. We rolled a 17, and that's going to be a ball that Johnson handles. 2 out, and it's Wes Parker. Wes Parker batted .253 with 17 doubles, 5 triples, and 12 home runs. And it's a 2-8. 2-8 is a strikeout. 3 up, 3 down. We go to the top of the fifth. 2-0 Dodgers. It's going to be Paul Blair, Andy Etchebarren, and the pitcher Jim Palmer here in the top of the fifth. And it's 5-8 off Koufax. 5-8 is a strikeout. Fifth strikeout. .59. It's a ground ball. Lefevre, 2 away. This would be Palmer, Jim Palmer. It's a 4-4. It's a fly ball lifted to center. Center fielder Davis is a 4, I believe. Not much of a fielder. Actually, no, excuse me. He's a 2. Willie Davis is a 2. I think Tommy Davis is the 4. So we rolled a 9. And he's a 2. And that's going to drop in for a double. So Palmer hits a bloop double. Gets into second base standing. It's going to be Luis Aparicio now with Palmer at second and 2 outs here in the top of the 5th. Here's the pitch from Koufax. It's a 4-4. A 4-4 is a fly ball center field X again. This time we roll a 17. Did we just roll a 17? No, we did not. And that's a ball. This time, Willie Davis gets to it for the 3rd out. The Orioles leave 1. And at the end of 4.5, it's Dodgers 2, Orioles nothing. It's going to be Koufax leading off against Palmer. Palmer's still in there. Say 112. It's going to be off Wills's card. A 112 is a ground ball. I'm sorry. It's off of a 112 off of the pitcher's hitting card number 1. It's a 112, and that's going to be a pop out to the right side. Second baseman Davey Johnson calls for it. 1 away. Now it's Wills coming up to bat. And it's a 6-7. 6-7 is a swing and a miss, strike 3. 4th strikeout for Palmer. And it's Jim Gilliam. Gilliam is 1 for 2. He's got an RBI single. And it's going to be a 2-7, 2-7, ball 4. Willie Davis now. It's a 6-3. A 6-3 is a fly ball lifted to left. And the fielder, Blefari, I believe he's a 4. We rolled a 7. And that's a ball that Blefari gets to for the 3rd out. We go to the top of the 6th inning. 2-0 Dodgers. It's going to be Sandy Koufax to Blefari and Frank Robinson and Brooks Robinson, the Robinson boys. It's 4-6. 4-6 is a ground ball to the shortstop. We rolled a 3. The shortstop, Wills, is a 3. So 3-3. That's a ball that gets through. So it's a single for Blefari. And it's going to be Frank Robinson. So now Frank Robinson hit 49 home runs. He batted .316, 34 doubles, 2 triples, and 49 home runs. I remember hearing, I'm not sure, again, I got to double check this, that he won the Triple Crown. Anyway, it's a 4-4, so it's off Koufax's card. It's a fly ball lifted to center. And Willie Davis Willie Davis, 17, is a 2. That's going to be a ball Davis gets to, 1 away. Brooks Robinson now. Brooks Robinson batted 269, 35 doubles, 2 triples, and 23 home runs. So he has power. That's a 3-8. A 3-8 is a hard hit ground ball right at the shortstop. Wills. He flips over to Lefevre, back to first, double play. So it's a 6-4-3 double play. And that's the end of the 5.5 innings of play. We go to the bottom of the sixth, and it's 2-0 Dodgers. Nice play turned by Wills and Jim Lefevre. And it's going to go to Ron Fairley. Ron Fairley hit a triple and scored a run, and then struck out. And it's a 4-9 against Palmer, a 4-9 fly ball center field. One away, and it's 4-8. 4-8 against Palmer now. Ground ball shortstop X. So it's going to be a 6 against Aparicio. Aparicio is a 2. So a 6 on a 2. That's a ball Aparicio gets to. Over to first, 2 away. Nice range for Aparicio on that one. And Lou Johnson. Lou Johnson is 0 for 2. And that's a 2-6, a 2-6. This will be a ground ball right at the shortstop, Aparicio, over to first. 3 up, 3 down. We go to the top of the 7th, 2-0 Dodgers. Sandy Koufax pitching for the Dodgers. Has a shutout going. Here's Powell. It's 4-8. 4-8 is a ground ball second base X. Second baseman is Lefevre. He's a 3. We rolled a 2. A 2 against a 3 is a single. Right past Lefevre. And Powell is on with a single in the top of the 7th. This will be Davey Johnson now. And it's a 6-5. A 6-5 is going to be a split die. And that's going to be a 9. So that's going to be a line drive base hit. Over the third goes Powell. First and third, runners on the corners now, and nobody out. And it's going to be Paul Blair. Here's the pitch to Blair. And it's a 4-4. It's a fly ball center field X. Center fielder is Davis. He's a 2. We rolled a 7. So that's going to be a out 5, runner on third scores. So it's going to be a sacrifice fly, the first out, but the score is now 2-1. Paul Blair gets a sacrifice fly, and it's Andy Etchebarren with Davey Johnson on at first. 2-1 the score now. Here's the pitch to Etchebarren, and it's a 4-9, a 4-9. It's going to be a fly ball lifted to left. Left fielder Lou Johnson there. 2 away. And it's going to be Palmer. Palmer is going to bat. Not pulling anybody. If he was at second base, I may pull him. But he's not, and there's nobody at second base right now. So it's a 4-9, and it doesn't make a difference anyway. 4-9. It's a fly ball lifted to left. And Lou Johnson squeezes it. We go to the bottom of the 7th inning, 2-1 Dodgers. They pick up a run and leave one here in the top of the 7th. So it's going to be Palmer against Roseboro. Roseboro, Parker, and Koufax. We were playing the 1966 World Series, Game 2, Dodger Stadium. Dodgers are up 1-0. Using Stratomatic Basic. 310. It's going to be off Roseboro's card, and that's a ground ball. Hit right back at the pitcher, Palmer. Over to first, one away. It's going to be Wes Parker. Parker's 0 for 2. Say 1-5. A 1-5 is a split die, line drive base hit. Parker's on at first with a single. We're going to have Koufax bunt. And that's a 3. I don't know if that's successful. Batter beats out bunt. So it's a base hit. First and second base hit for Koufax. And we're going to go to Maury Wills now. And it's a 5. It's going to be off Palmer's card, a 5-12. And that's going to be ball 4. So the bases are loaded with one out here. The Dodgers are up 1-0 as it stands. And we're going to see a new pitcher. And it's going to be historically, I think they brought in a guy, he's got a Polish name, I believe it is, Mo Drabowski. This is the guy who I believe pitched in Game 1. And I don't know, he broke records in strikeouts, I believe, in that game. But he really made a name for himself. So Mo Drabowski, he was 6-0 with a 2.81 ERA in 1966. You can see that there, 6-0 with a 2.81. So he's going to come in, Drabowski. And we're coloring him in yellow. Well, I was coloring him in yellow. I don't know what happened to the point on the pencil. Oh, there it is. Wait a second. Okay. It's under my papers. I got these colored pencils that I use. And that helps me identify quickly the relievers. Okay, so it's Mo Drabowski. He's coming in for Palmer. And he's going to pitch 2 with the bases loaded. Luis walked. It's going to be, I don't know what I'm talking about here. Okay, that's next inning. Where are my cards? Okay, Gilliam. Gilliam is up. Bases loaded, Gilliam. Infield's going to have to be drawn in at this point in the game. So let's see what happens. Here's the pitch from Drabowski. Gilliam calls time. Drabowski steps off. He gets the sign. Here's the pitch. And it's off Gilliam's card, a 2-10. And that's going to be ball 4. So a run is forced in. Parker scores. Gilliam gets an RBI. Bases are still loaded. And it's Willie Davis. Infield is still playing in. Here's the pitch to Willie Davis. Now Willie Davis is 0 for 2. He walked. And it's a 6-5. A 6-5 is a strikeout. Davis goes down on strikes for the second out. That's going to be Ron Fairley. Here's the pitch to Fairley. Infield's back now with 2 outs. This will be a 1-1-1. And that's a hard hit ground ball right at the third baseman. Brooks Robinson makes a nice play, whips it over to first for the third out. And the Dodgers score 1 here in the bottom of the 7th. They leave 3. They leave the bases loaded. But we go to the top of the 8th, and it's 3-1 Dodgers. So Aparicio is going to lead off against Sandy Koufax. We are here in the top of the 8th inning. Game 2 of the 1966 World Series. Dodgers are up 1-0 in the series. Here's the pitch to Aparicio. It's off Aparicio's card, a 1-10. And that ball is lined and caught by the shortstop. Wills made a nice catch there. 1 down. Kurt Blefari. He's 1 for 3. He's singled in his last at bat. Here's the pitch, a 1-8. That's a swing and a miss, strike 3. And that's Koufax's, 6th strikeout. Second out of the inning here in the top of the 8th. So there's 2 away now. And it's Frank Robinson. And that's going to be a 1-6 off Robinson's card. It's a hard hit ground ball at the shortstop, Wills. Over to first. 3 up, 3 down. We go to the bottom of the 8th. It's going to be Jim Lefevre, Lou Johnson, and Roseboro, the catcher, against Drabowski. Here's the pitch from Drabowski. And it's a 3-9. It's going to be off Lefevre's card, and that's a split die, line drive, base hit. And he's going to stop at first with a single. That's his first hit of the game. So Jim Lefevre's on with a single. Nobody out. Johnson's going to bunt. That's going to be a 5. Let's see. Probably a successful bunt. Batter is thrown out by pitcher. Runners advance 1 base. So 1 out. Roseboro. And you know what? They're going to walk Roseboro, who batted .276. So intentional walk. First and second now. They're going to pitch to Wes Parker, who batted .253. But there's more of a chance of, there's a chance now of a double play. Whereas before it would have been tough. 3-9. 3-9. It's a fly ball lifted to left. Left fielder Blavari squeezes it. 2 outs now. And it's going to be Sandy Koufax. Runners first and second. Here's the pitch to Koufax. It's a 4-7. A 4-7 is ball 4. So Drabowski walks Koufax. This strategy backfires. Bases are loaded now. And it's Maury Wills, who's 0 for 2. He lined out and struck out. He sacrificed and walked. Maury Wills against Drabowski here with the bases loaded and 2 out. It's a big chance for the Dodgers to break it open. See what happens. Say 1-6. A 1-6 is ball 4. Drabowski walks in a run. Lefevre scores. And Wills gets an RBI. Bases are loaded again. It's going to be 4-1 now. Dodgers up. And it's going to be Jim Gilliam. There's action in the bullpen, but the manager's not making his move. It's a 1-4. A 1-4 is a high pop-up to the infield. Taking a few steps back is the shortstop, Aparicio. And he makes the catch for the 3rd out. But the Dodgers leave the bases loaded and score 1 run and lead it 4-1 now, going to the top of the 9th inning. And it's Koufax still in the game. It's going to be Brooks Robinson, Boog Powell, and Davey Johnson. It's a 5-9 off Koufax's card. A 9 is a ground ball. It's chopped to the second baseman. Lefevre throws over to first, one away. It's Boog Powell now with one out here in the bottom of the. I'm sorry, the top of the ninth. The Dodgers are 2 outs away from going up 2-0 in the series. Say 1-6 to Boog Powell, and that's a line drive base hit for Boog Powell. His second single of the day. He's 2 for 3. He's walked and struck out. So Powell's on at first. Davey Johnson, the batter now. There's action in the Dodger bullpen. Say 110. That ball is lined and caught by the second baseman, Lefevre. No chance of doubling Powell at first. He was playing it safe. So there's 2 outs now. Paul Blair, the batter. 4-1 the score. Dodgers up. Here's the pitch from Koufax. And it's going to be off Koufax, a 6-9. A 6-9 is a swing and a miss, strike 3, game over. Koufax goes the distance and notches his 7th strikeout. And he walked. Let's take a look at see. He walked 1, 2. Walked 2, struck out 7. Gave up but 1 run on a sacrifice fly. And the hits, he gave up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hits. Pitched a 5-hitter. Goes to complete game, notches the win. So the Orioles will see him again, it seems, now that they're up 2-0 in the series. The loss is going to go to Jim Palmer. And that's game 2 of the 1966 World Series. Hope you enjoyed it here at Dodger Stadium. And I'm going to sign off now. May play another one later. Who knows? It's a little bit late. What time is it now? Not too bad. It's 11. So I may come back and play game 3 later on using Stratomatic. And that's another victory for the Dodgers. So the Dodgers are rewriting history. In the original series, remember, they were 4 and out. They were swept by the Orioles. But not here. Not now. Not using Stratomatic. So I'll find out a little bit more about Frank Robinson and his Triple Crown. And I'll find out a little bit more about... I believe Echeverria and I think Palmer were both rookies in 1966. So these are basically the rookie strat cards for those players. Anyway, take care, guys. I'll talk to you soon. Signing out is Combat Painter from Winter Tabletop Baseball. It's almost springtime. So I'll see you guys soon. Bye now.